Hello, welcome to another edition of Tackle Talk Live. I'm Ranger Diver Pro Staffer with the one and only V&M General Manager.
We got it right this week.
That's 2 weeks in a row. I didn't get it right, but I got it right today. And Kevin, hey, welcome. Good to have you again today. James back here operating, doing all the board work for us, and we appreciate James, all the work he does for us. And today's show, we've got a good one for you. If you want to hear how to catch a big one on Toldeo Bend, we're going to have the guy on that just won the Bob City Big Bass Splash. Kevin.
Not only did he win it, he blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, he catches a 12.41 and 8.67 was second place.
Is that the biggest fish probably in the last 5 years?
On Toldeo Bend, yes.
Yeah.
On
Yeah, I
Toldeo
think
Bend.
it is.
On Toldeo Bend,
Yeah.
it is. There was a monster. There was a 12 caught on Rayburn a couple years ago. I can't remember its exact weight, but it was a 12-pounder. But, I mean, a 12.41 in July, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Branden Rannekleiv is going to be joining us. Again, he's the guy that caught that big fish. We're going to talk about how he did it, where he did it, what bait he was fishing, how deep, how shallow, whatever. We're going to get all the details from Branden today and see exactly what went on for him to bring home $100,000 in cash and prizes, boats, trucks. I mean, does anybody do it any better? I mean,
No.
It
It is the highest paying, tournament for regular weekend anglers in the country
to catch one
fish.
One big fish.
Yes, one fish.
So, but anyway, we'll talk about that as well. Also, we're going to Kevin and I are going to wrap up the Sealy event. Really surprised at how well Toldeo Bend showed out. Based on how down Toldeo Bend is. Well, I'm going to tell you, the weights that came in really surprised, I think, me and Kevin both, as to what it took, not just to win an hour, but what it took just to get a check. So Toldeo Bend's alive and well and doing well. We're also going to give you some MLF updates. We've got it on right now in here as they're fishing up at Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. There's some guys going out right now. Poche was leading it. Now I think, let's see.
Jordan Lee
is taking the lead. Iaconelli's up there in third. They're all real close to each other. So we'll give you more updates as that goes on today as well. Let's see here. What else are we going to talk about, Kevin?
Upcoming events we got coming up. I know Bass Champs has some stuff coming up in July. Usually July and August is pretty dead, but now with everything that happened with the virus stuff back earlier in the year, and even now everything is getting pushed back. So there'll be a lot more stuff going on in July and August for those of you that want to get out on the lake for sure.
Yeah, and I got to tell you guys, be careful, because I know I did a little bit of stuff this weekend. I worked a food pantry deal, and I was outside on that hot. It was concrete, wasn't in a boat, but there ain't a whole lot of. It's either hot or not, and I'm telling you, it is hot. You better make sure you hydrate good, because I actually got a little dizzy. Had to take a break, and I thought, man, I'm not even fishing today, and I was. I didn't prepare myself well for that day, and didn't realize I was going to be outside as much as I was. But if you're going to be outside for an extended period of time, you've got to make sure you hydrate. You need to hydrate the night before, not the morning of. So that's the biggest mistake I made. But anyway, all right, Kevin, let's see here. You go ahead and tell us about our sponsor. I think you're going to talk about the boat shop, and then I'll talk about 3J's 4-Way and Cypress Knee.
The boat shop. Mr. Raymond Kidd and his staff take great pride in keeping your boat and motor performing at its best. A certified Yamaha dealer and home of the best motor on the market today, the Yamaha Show. They also carry one of the best aluminum boats around, Sea Arc. And now they are a full support Garmin dealer. So stop by 2410 Sanford Avenue in Shreveport and let the boat shop take care of all your boating needs. Give them a call at 318-402-0399 or go to ShreveportBoatShop.com.
And while Kevin gets Branden on, the winner of the Bob Sealy tournament, I'm going to tell you about 3J's 4-Ways and Cypress Knee Outdoors. John Abraham and the gang invite you to make the short drive just south of Natchitoches down Highway 1. If you haven't been there, it's a great store, great selection of outdoor gear from hunting and fishing. It's a great place for lunch as well, with awesome deli that has the best fried chicken in the South. And I also love them Crispitos. If you're a Crispito fan, they've got them. Also, truly a one-stop shop whether you need gas, food, ice, and again, just great hunting, fishing products in the Cypress Knee Outdoor store that's right adjoining 3J's 4-way. So products from Santone, Strike King, Spro, Gamakatsu, and the #1 soft plastic on the planet, V&M. They're all fully stocked and ready to go. Hunting supplies from Primo, guns from Winchester, Remington, Mossberg, along with a great selection of ammunition. So for all your outdoor needs, or if you want to take part in lunch, go to Cypress Knee Outdoors or in 3J's 4-way, located at Cypress, Louisiana, 1 mile east of I-49 at exit 27. Or you can call them at 318-238-HUNT, 238-HUNT. All right, Kevin, we got Branden on the phone.
Branden, you with us?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Branden?
I'm great, and you?
Good. I asked you earlier, have you been to the bank yet? You said you hadn't had time.
Oh, no, not yet.
I bet that wife's been to the bank, though.
She's probably been to town to the shopping store, knowing her. She's trying to spend it already.
There you go. Well, man, congratulations on your big win. I mean, good gosh. I mean, you lived every fisherman's dream by winning not just a boat, but you won a truck, you won cash. I mean, does it get any better than Bob Seeley?
And catching the biggest fish of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like the slogan goes, for an amateur fisherman, I don't think it's going to get much better than that.
No, absolutely not.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely not. So, Branden, let's break down, how and when all this went on. So this was the second day of the event on Saturday, correct?
That's correct.
Around what time, or I tell you what, kind of take us through Saturday morning. I know it's kind of happened mid-morning. Kind of take us through Saturday morning, kind of what led up to the event. I kind of heard some of your other stories on it really wasn't a spot y'all was planning on fishing, but due to some boats, you ended up there. So kind of give us that breakdown of how that all went down.
Well, last summer, me and my little boy went fishing. It was about this time, July, August, I don't even remember exactly. And we went out there, and actually, we missed the morning bite to begin with, so it was tough. Caught one, maybe two fish, and it was a scorcher, just about like this weekend was. And I said, buddy, you ready to go get something to eat? He's like, oh, yeah. So we rolled up in the cafe there and got something to eat. And that little fella, he likes to fish just as much as anybody, for sure, any little kid. And I hadn't provoked it 1 ounce. It's just in him. He loves it. And so he's there with me, sucking it up, all that heat and everything. So we go in there and eat. We get done, we go back outside. And he's like, Daddy, it's hot. I said, I know, son. So we got a little bit longer to go. We've come too far. So we go out there, and long story short, we rolled over to an old place I had graphed, but I hadn't fished in a long time. So we pulled up there, so let's go try that. And so we started throwing. I was throwing at my little target there, and wasn't getting nothing. Some schoolers come up in front of us. He's got a chug bug on. He goes there and pop, pop. He works it a little bit, and he gets a blow up. So he's all excited. They went down. We couldn't get them to come up no more. So went back over a little target. And I was like, you about ready to go, buddy? He said, nah, Daddy, he's all into it now. I want to throw the drop shot. So, all right. So I picked up a big crankbait, threw it out there, first reel the handle. And I just started cranking on it. And bang, I had something. He's sticking, like I said, he's sticking it out with me and all that heat. We ain't had many bites. I said, here, go get this one. I knew it was heavy. Long story short, get in the boat. It's 8 pounds. Like, oh my gosh, this thing is huge. He's all fired up. So we get it. I get it. We get it in the live well just to hold it for a little bit. And so I fire it back out there, and I was like, man, here, come get this one. As soon as I said that, it come off. I was like, I was a stump, whatever. So I reeled it back in, threw it back out there. I hooked one again. I said, here, come get this one. I could tell it was heavy again. And it come up by the boat jump. I was like, oh my gosh. It was a 1085, long story short. I don't want to take up all your time. So that was a pretty good spot. I hadn't really tinkered with it too much. I was kind of wanting to go back to that area. And so we was easing over there. And somebody, of course, is sitting on it. It ain't no top secret spot, I'm sure. So somebody's sitting on it. I said, well, let's just ease off over here in this direction. See the decent looking little potential area, So we, instead of going running around all the whole lake, we eased over there. And I was looking at my graph, my electronics, and seen some bait fish. I seen what I thought was quite a bit of white perch. And I rolled over a little bit, and looked like a little wad of some decent fish, probably bass on the bottom, but they weren't like in a feeding mode, And so I said, we'll drop trolling right here and start fishing. We'll try it. So I threw out there, and it wasn't too long. I had one. I think the one I weighed in got a little check, 396. I kind of got slow for a little bit.
Now, Branden, what hour did you weigh in at 396?
Don't give me the line. It
I mean,
was early.
it was one of the first couple hours Saturday morning, correct?
That was a Friday morning when that happened.
Oh, okay.
So,
I got you.
I'm bringing you back a little bit, just to kind of give you a
Okay.
little bit of a till the beginning of it. And so I eased down the kind of the same spot and caught another good one. So Saturday morning when it all unfolded, we kind of showed up, same spot. My buddy caught a little over 4 pounds, I believe. He waited in the same hour, way but big one in, and kind of got slow. So I eased down the ridge a little bit. It was like a little spot, kind of tapered off, and it was next to some little steep contour lines, and it tapered at the same time, kind of like a little point. And so I just made a long cast out there, and like I've told the story before. I mean, I know some of y'all heard it, but it was just a classic boom, boom, And I have a stiff rod, I carry a heavy stick when I'm wire fishing. I rear back, hit it pretty hard, and it's like there was just a wall. I mean, it was just like a log, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, anybody fishes a lot, it happens,
Yeah.
You hit us for whatever reason, man. It's just a solid wall, and I was like, oh my gosh, my first thought. And then all of a sudden, I felt the tail just start shaking, and I guess her initial thought was to come up and try to spit it out. Thank goodness, because I was in some treetops at the time. And she come up, and she didn't harpoon on us, but she come up and flushed the toilet bowl real hard, and my buddy seen her. He said, oh my gosh. And so she come at me, man. I started reeling real hard. She jumped twice, and she come down. I was just like, I said, you can stab, but don't stab at her. You can stab under her if you can get her, so don't force it, So she went down underneath the boat a little bit, come back up. And old Josh Smith, my partner there, he did an awesome job. He come up underneath her just right, got her in the basket. So
That's a basket full of fish.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Did it hit you at that moment what you probably had just done? I mean, a fish of that size.
Yeah.
You
knew it was 10.
An 8-pounder is winning the thing right now, and a fish of that size, you probably know, hey, I just won the Sealy's Big Bass Splash.
Yeah. Did it hit you like that, or you just wasn't for sure?
To be honest, you try to be modest sometimes. No, but when we got in the boat, I was like, I just looked at it, I said, that's a daggone boat in the truck right there, I think.
Yeah. You can be modest at weigh in and say what you're supposed to say, but when you land one like that in the boat, you're going, the old dollar signs start hitting.
Now, did you put the scales? Did you have scales in your boat to weigh it, or you just knew it was over 10?
Nah, we had a scale. I mean, I looked at it. I've been around a couple of 10-pounders before, and just looking at it, I honestly didn't know how big it was. I was like a 10 plus, maybe a little 10 or whatever.
Right.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's not every day. It's not every day you catch a 12 and you can judge a 12-pounder. So, I mean, you said, it's over 10, but.
And I've seen.
I can honestly say I've never seen a 12 in real life.
Well, and that I say I've caught one 10, but I have netted several 10s for my partner, Daryl Gleason. One was an 11. And I can tell you, from 9-pounders I've caught and I've netted to the 11.5-pounder his I've netted, I can't tell you.
Yeah, you can't tell.
Between 9 and 11, I can't even come close. I caught a 10.05 on Raven last year. I thought it was 12.
Right. Well, I see pros even on MLF that they'll net a 8-pounder. They think it's an 8 and it's really a 7.
When
they get up to that range, you can't. It's hard to tell.
It is hard.
Right.
But you knew you'd landed what you thought might be the winning fish, though, didn't you?
Oh yeah. There ain't no doubt about it. I mean, I knew somebody had an 8, somewhere in 8. I hadn't been following extremely close. I'm not just one of those guys who stay on top of every single moment of every hour, So I knew it was mid-8. Somebody had the lead, and I was like, ooh,
now, Branden,
that's going to be tough to beat.
You don't have to give us exact location, but were you north or south of the bridge?
I was south.
South of the bridge, okay. Well, and that's nothing unusual. We thought this might be the year that above the bridge would be where the winning fish came from because of the lack of grass and vegetation down south. We thought more people might venture north and get in the channel and fish those bends and creeks, and we thought it might come from up north. And a lot of the guys that are guides over there thought the same thing, that it could easily come north of the bridge this year, but.
Now, Branden, how many boats were around to see all this go down?
Yeah, how many saw you?
Honestly, there were some boats around for sure. I don't think anybody saw us land it.
Well, I can promise you, if I'd have landed a 12-pounder, everybody would have known that.
Yeah, you didn't pull an Iconelli on them, did you?
I'm sorry, say that again?
You didn't pull an Iconelli and go crazy, did you?
Oh, no. I was able to hold it together. I was keeping it all inside. I promise you, my inside, doing all the cartwheels and all that stuff. I was telling some people, some of my friends and stuff, I was like, it's kind of like you being a kid and killing your first deer. I just remember my heart thumping harder then. But as far as the adrenaline and the nerves and just all the emotion that goes into it, it was the first 20 minutes was almost too much to handle. It was almost uncomfortable feeling it.
Well, I was going to ask you, how long did it take you to quit shaking? Because I guarantee you I'd have been shaking all the way up till I weighed that sucker in.
It seemed like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but it's probably more like 10.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure.
So
I'd calm down, and never kind of settle down a little after a little while. And I wanted to come in for the bonus shirt, the hour, between 8 and 9, like how Bob Silly does it. Kind of helps us out a little bit. So I wanted to wait on that. So I calmed down, had time to calm down. But whenever we come off plane and we was island back up there, man, all the emotions hit me again. I got real excited.
Well, Branden. So you won a small check with one almost 4 pounds Friday. You weighed in the 12 on Saturday. Did we get any more checks off that spot? I know y'all was pumped up and excited and didn't really care. But of course, y'all finished the tournament out Saturday and Sunday. So did we cash any more checks off that spot?
Yeah, I sure did. I was going to tell you I didn't know how long this was going to last. And I didn't want to eat up all y'all's time, but the first morning I caught that little one. I went down the ridge and I come back. And I just kind of made a long cast, kind of like the big one. I made a long cast out there, about the same thing, and of course, over Warren bite, set the hook, and I get her in the boat, and my first instinct, hit the waypoint, mark my waypoint.
Right.
When I did, I looked up on my screen, and those fish that I had marked when we first rolled over it, those bigger fish, I had targeted them earlier when we first started. I was throwing at them for nothing, but when I hit that waypoint to save my position, I noticed I cast it directly on that other waypoint. Yeah. Which was kind of neat, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, how much trouble did you have sleeping Saturday night?
Well, there again, I could lie to you, but I was pretty tired. My boat I hadn't had my boat for about 2.5 months, and I just got it like Wednesday night, and I was trying to put a new battery charger and get some of my stuff in there. I hadn't had much sleep last 2 previous nights.
Yeah.
And I knew, like you say, you want to be humble about it, but in the back of your mind, you just know, statistically speaking, it's going to be hard to beat a 12.
Yeah, the odds were in your favor. And and again, Wayne Allen Ebarb, I was there the tournament a few years ago. He weighed 11 something, and somebody came in behind him on the last day in the last hour and weighed 11, a little over 11, that beat him by ounces. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I think that was one of my friends, old Gil AJ, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was. It sure was. That's exactly who it was. But yeah, you're always nervous about it. But still, a 12. You won by 3.5, close to 4 pounds. So. But look, Branden, congratulations, man! What an awesome weekend! What a perfect time to catch the biggest fish of your life. To catch a 12-pounder for sure.
Yes, sir.
I know Bob and them do an awesome job at the weigh-in and everything. They got you. I seen the interview with Bob did you yesterday where you won everything. So kind of give us a rundown again of everything that fish won you.
Oh, let's see. That fish got me weighed in for the bonus hour, so it's a $1,500 for first place. Got the bonus, which is double your money. That's $3,000. If for winning first place overall, you get $7,000 cash. A Ram quad cab, Triton TRX 19, which has that Mercury 225 on it. It's got the Minn Kota trolling motor, the Lowrance graphs on it, and all that. It's a nice rig. And Bob tallied it up a little over $90,000.
Wow.
Now, Branden, are you looking to keep this rig, or you said you had another boat? Did you just get a brand new boat, or are you looking to?
No, it's not brand new. It's a 16. I run a Phoenix 920.
And what are you looking to do? You looking to keep this one, sell it, or what?
I'm probably going to sell it.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep the one I got.
Now, do you have a Facebook page, or?
I'm on Facebook. It's not like I'm a celebrity got my own.
No, I'm just saying, if people want to contact you about buying the boat, is that the best way to do it?
Yeah, that would work.
Okay, all right.
I think y'all actually nailed my name perfect, so that you could find me like that.
Okay, all right.
Good deal.
And what about the truck? You gonna keep it?
I think I'm gonna get rid of that one too.
All right, man. You gonna cash in?
He says he thinks the wife has got for sale signs on both of them.
All right.
Well, you're going to have a Merry Christmas if nothing else. I mean, man, it just doesn't get any better than this.
Yes, sir. It's fun, you know. I just talk to some friends, of course. I mean, the money's nice, whatever, but I mean, really, just all the people around it, the friends, the excitement. I mean, it's all.
Yeah, that's what it's all.
People you don't know coming up to you, congratulating you. It's just.
Yeah.
It's a big emotional high.
Yeah, it really is.
It's awesome.
It really is.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, we appreciate you taking time out of your bit. I know you're working, and thank you, Branden, for coming on. I'm going to be in touch with you about Wednesday, and we'll talk a little bit more about that and later on. But, hey, thank you, man. Congratulations. Job well done, bud.
All righty. Appreciate y'all.
Congrats, Branden.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Branden Rannekleiv from Reeves, Louisiana. Do you know where Reeves is at?
Yeah, it's north of Lake Charles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right there in that Lake Charles, North Lake Charles area.
All
right
right.
there.
All right. We're going to kind of recap this thing a little bit. And, Kevin, I think the top 5 guys were all Louisiana.
They were, and I think that's the first time I can recall in a long time top 5 have all been from Louisiana.
I would agree.
Second place, Ben Abraham of Woodworth, Louisiana, was at 8.67. He is a Northwestern State fishing team
Really?
member. Yep,
Oh, okay.
Ben is. Sure.
Good job.
Goes college here at Northwestern.
Forkum Demons, baby. Good
Michael
job, Ben.
Mitchell of Lake Charles, Louisiana, caught an 8.64. Jason
Webbery.
of
Vacherie, Louisiana.
now I knew where Reeves was. Do you know where that
I
is?
have no idea.
All right,
It's
well-
somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
And then Justin Peterson of Shreveport, Louisiana, with an 8.20.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, the 12-pounder, Steve, and there was a big jump to 8, but there was a bunch of 8, 7, 6-pounders.
Yeah.
We talked to Daryl Gleason and Justin Cooper on the previous shows, and we're all giving our 2 cents of what it's going to take. Now, it
Right.
blew us out of the water of the big fish.
Oh, yeah.
What it was going to take, but I really am very impressed with Toldeo Bend and the numbers and the weights that it spit out. I mean, it was taking always a 3.5. It never really got below taking a 3.5-pounder
Right.
to win money.
Right.
But it was 6, 7-pounders to win every hour in July, and
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
Took a 7-pound plus to win every hour but 3 hours. And those were, I think, 697s. I mean, they were pushing 7s. And so the number of 7, 8-pounders weighed in was really impressive to me. I was taken back a little bit by that because all we've heard about, Toledo Bend's down, man. They're just the fishing's not good, which it doesn't mean the fish aren't there.
It's July. Fishing is tough.
It's tough in July. I don't care where you go. It's tough. And also, again, the average fish weighed in for this event averaged 4.06 pounds, Kevin.
In July, which was the hottest day of the year so far, it really gives me high hopes for Toledo Bend moving forward. I mean, it really showed out this weekend.
Yeah.
I think that sets up for the next 2 or 3 years on Toledo Bend. I mean, weights like this and this time of the year, Toledo Bend could really be on the rise.
Well, as good as Sam Rayburn has been, and those of us that are from this region and fishing Rayburn a lot, we understand why Rayburn has done and been. We locally probably rank it above Toledo Bend, but those national publications that just came out with the national rankings, one of them, BASS, which that was a decade worth of fishing,
Right.
did rank Toledo Bend above Sam Rayburn. But I'm telling you, right now, Rayburn is still the place. It's still a great fishery. But Toledo Bend, I was really proud to see Toledo Bend do as well as it did this past weekend. I think it may rejuvenate the lake a little bit with people wanting to go there again.
Obviously has a class of, we had Todd Driscoll on talking about the classes of fish a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Obviously that class of fish that's 4 to 6 pounds is a really good class of fish.
Yep.
And, again, the next 2 to 3 years of fishing on Toledo Bend could be really good and be on the rise again. And we really need to get Toledo Bend back to where it used to be. If we can ever at any point get Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn on fire together, the fishing industry in this area will just go crazy for people coming out of town.
That's exactly right. Also, up next for Bob Seeley is going to be the Lake Fork event, September 18th, 19th, and 20th. And I think that goes out to Lake Fork Marina.
Correct.
I think that's right.
Correct.
And which is a great place to stay and a great place for a tournament. They can handle those size events. So if you're looking to fish the next Bob Seeley event, that's where it's going to be. Then he's got more coming up in October. And so
October's going to be on San Rayburn.
Right. And he's combining the shootout.
The fall shootout normally does. He's putting the spring tournament. He's moving it to the shootout date.
Right. Combining those into one event.
Correct.
So if you're looking to fish that in the fall, that's in October. We'll give you more about that the closer we get to that.
So we're kind of recapping Toledo Bend again here. So we know Branden, he caught that on I believe he said it was a blue fleck old monster, a big worm.
Right.
Everything I heard this weekend, I've talked to several of my buddies that fished it, that got several checks arrows. It was really dominated by the big worm and a football jig.
Right.
So Branden caught it on a big ribbon tail blue fleck worm. Second place, Ben Abraham actually caught his on a V&M Gleason Candy football jig.
Okay.
With a Gleason Candy J-Bug trailer.
All right.
I know several guys that got 4 and 5 checks. I know Ryan Pinkston got 3 checks. He caught them all on a Wild Thing worm.
Yeah.
Josh Peak, another buddy of mine, he had 4. Out of his boat, they had 4 checks on a big worm.
Yeah. Do you know if any of these guys were north? Do you know how many people actually may have went north that did well?
Well, of course, I know Ryan went north. I know Josh was south.
Right.
Mixed bags. I don't think one area of the lake
showed out
more than the other. I know a lot of guys that caught some south. I know a lot of the, Dustin Rivers and all those guys had 3 or 4 checks from the north end. I don't think either side of the lake showed out at all. I really don't.
Right.
But it was this event, no doubt, was dominated by a big worm and a football jig. As we thought it would be, and it was. It truly was.
Yeah, and like I said, it wasn't nothing unexpected. It's that time of year. We all know that big worms and jigs, dragging them on the bottom is what you need to be doing. So, but again, congratulations to all the guys. I think they had a great turnout. So, congratulations to all those people that cashed in on the Seeley Big Bass Splash. Also, another big event that's coming this weekend, coming up on the 19th, is Bass Champs. This is their mega bass event. It's a huge event, $20,000 in cash guaranteed every single hour, $15,000 per hour for first place big fish in this event. Second place drops to $1,000. They play the top 10 places. You can at least get your money back if you finish in 10th for the hour. And this is a place, Kevin, that they're not going to be above a slot.
Yeah,
it may be a 14.
It could take a 2.5 pounder.
13 and 3/4 inch
to win $15,000.
Yeah, exactly. So you just never know. If you're looking to fish this event, this is a great event. And again, the money couldn't be better. They're also giving away for big bass of the day. Will win $15,000 cash and a brand new Skeeter ZX200. And again, Bass Champs, Bob Seeley, 2 organizations that do it the right way. The entry fee for the Lake Fork event this week is $200 per person. Checks are not accepted on site. On-site registration times will be 5 to 7 on Friday, and on Saturday 12 till 7 p.m. and then Sunday 7/19 at 5 a.m. So it's actually Sunday morning is the tournament.
Correct.
So not Saturday. So you can register Friday, Saturday, or Sunday morning of the event. And at 5 o'clock.
So a $200 entry fee, and they're paying $15,000 every hour.
Yep. And if you weigh a 2.50, that's a bonus $500. A 3-pounder even is $500. 9-pound even is $500, and 10-pound even is another $500, on top of what you've won for the hour. And so again, just Chad Potts and his guys, they do a wonderful job. Important notice: they will be implementing COVID-19 social distancing guidelines during the weigh-in in order to meet the new requirements. Of course, a lot of states are locking back down again, so hopefully we won't be canceling our events. But there will be no T-shirt bonus this year. Registering online allows you to avoid coming to registration. The tournament will go on as planned, July 19th. Right now, it's still a go.
Yep. And for a quick Major League Fishing update, Steve, Keith Poche, our guy, our local Natchitoches, Louisiana guy here, led day one, led this group on day one. He's struggling a little bit today. Jordan Lee has taken the lead. He's had 139 pounds even. And Mr. V&M himself, Cliff Pace, has found himself in the second place at 123 pounds. And Keith Poche has fell into third place with 118.
Yeah, and this event, if you want to watch it, it's actually live right now. And you can go to the Major League Fishing website and click on listen live or watch live.
If you want to see a smallmouth smackdown, you go watch live right now. It's every cast for a lot. I mean, they're catching 100 pounds a day. Every cast for a lot of these guys. It's fun to watch. I mean, it is an absolute smallmouth beatdown.
Looks like Keith has gotten off the 0 mark for today. He had trouble catching them this morning and basically had no fish, but now he's up to 118 from 112. So maybe he's getting in a rhythm again, he maybe found some fish. So, but check that out. And this event goes all the way through Wednesday. Wednesday's the final morning. So again, you can watch this on MLF Live. Make sure you check it out. So it's nothing better. They do a great job. Marty Stone, JT Kinney do a great job of covering this event. And so if you got time, you're at your computer, pull it up. All right.
One more quick shout out to our sponsors, the Boat Shop up in Shreveport, Louisiana. Now a new Garmin dealer, can take care of all your Garmin electronics.
Yep.
Can work on your Garmin trolling motors. Also 3J's 4-way just here south of Natchitoches, Louisiana. All you guys coming up from South Louisiana that come up to the Natchitoches exit and go over to Toledo Bend, you can stop right there at the Cypress exit south of Natchitoches before you get into town. It's half a mile off the interstate. They've got all your hunting and fishing needs. Lunch, like Steve said, grab lunch on your way to Toledo Bend.
Also, at Abraham's, dove season will be coming up for too long. It's right around the corner. As we heading into August pretty soon. That Labor Day weekend's opening weekend of dove season. He's got great shotguns. I actually bought a shotgun, the XP series. I bought a 12-gauge Winchester. Absolutely love it. It's a great gun. He's got a great selection of shotguns to have you ready for dove season coming up. So make sure you check it out.
Congrats to all the winners on the Sealy Outdoors. Branden, who we had on, Ben Abraham, good friend of ours here from Northwestern. All the hourly winners, everybody that had those 5 and 6 I seen several guys, Steve, that won 4, 5, 6 checks. Probably won, $3,000-$4,000 this weekend. So
exactly.
Congrats to everybody. And Branden, we appreciate him coming on, kind of telling us about his day and his unforgettable day on the water.
Also coming up right now is Kevin Jean, and his video tip of the week is talking about the V&M wild thing, the big worm. You don't want to miss this. Good insight, good information about how to fish the V&M wild thing. Till next time, continue to watch Tackle Talk Live if you want to catch more fish.
Hey guys, this morning for tips of the week, I want to talk to you about the hottest worm in Texas and Louisiana right now. The V&M Wild Thing worm. This is the 8.5 version. This worm simply gets bit with highly pressured fish that are not feeding. It's a structure fishing worm that, brush pile, stumps, lay down, so on and so forth. It's where it really excels, is around structure. This thing has a big, hard, thumping tail action, has a lot of action to it. You can see the thickness of that tail right there. Put it on I like fishing on a little bit heavier weight. And when you do that, you can actually feel the vibration from this tail. It's got such a hard, pulsating, throbbing action to the tail. You can actually feel that on a good rod when you throw it. The thing about this thing and why has made it so popular around Sam Rayburn is there's so much brush pile fishing around Sam Rayburn. And when you throw that thing up in a brush pile and those fish are just hanging out, not really ready to eat, and you go to hop in that thing in that brush pile, it's got so much hard action to it. It's like a rattle trap bite. They can't help it. They just swipe at it. We've got 12 or 13 different colors. We have 2 different sizes, the 8.5 and the 10.5. But, for those of you who just your regular ribbon tail type fishermen, you need to check the wild thing out and give it a try. I think it's something you'll definitely be pleased with, especially around cover. I know a lot of guys that fish this around boat docks, different areas of the U.S. that there's boat dock fishing. But this is definitely a worm you need to put in your arsenal if you've never tried it. It's something you need to have in your boat every time you're around Sam Rayburn or Toledo Bend, because they will absolutely eat it. Again, 2 different sizes, several different colors, any color you can imagine that you want. That's a good color around here. So the wild thing worm, make sure to give it a try.